my first question.
Go ahead.
Would you consider yourself red pill?
Never in a million years.
Never. Why?
Never in a million years.
Why?
I think to me, first and foremost, I think I don't subscribe to any man-made ideology.
Here we go. All right, so Hafeez jumping right into it. This is the Hafeez and Pearl interview. Apparently it's a debate, but it's not a debate. But anyway, he says he doesn't subscribe to any man-made ideology, even though he's Christian. But anyway, so the red pill is not an ideology, first of all. And in fact, I would also say it's not even a praxeology, like Rollo says. The red pill is just the truth. The red pill is based on evolutionary biological facts, right, and or evolutionary psychological history, right. It's not something that's like, you know, believe this and you'll be successful. It's not like a success grift or whatever you want to call it. The red pill is simply the truth. It's like saying the Earth orbits around the sun. So the red pill is just the truth about male-female nature and intersexual dynamics. So it's like, you know, women are hypergamous, women are solipsistic, you can't negotiate genuine desire, etc. Like that sort of thing. Like it's not. And basically the red pill just explains why are women hypergamous, why are women solipsistic. For those of you that don't know what these mean, so hypergamy means that women go after superior men that are better than them at everything. So stronger, smarter, faster, more wise, more experienced in the world, etc. Which is why you see the prevalence of dating apps, right? So these women are trying to concentrate and speed up the time required to get those men, right? So that dating apps basically they facilitate hypergamy, right? Which is women choosing, like when women are allowed to, right? They'll choose the top 5% of men for reproduction, and they'll leave the rest of the men to the side. And when I say they choose the top 5% of men for reproduction, I mean when they're at their biological fertility peak, right? So when they're at the age of 18 to 23, just read a bunch of Tinder profiles. I have myself on my channel, many of my videos have Tinder profile analysis. And you can see from that it's very obvious that at 18 to 23, women are trying to get Chad, right? They're trying to sleep with Chad, which is a top 5% of men, either usually in looks, right? But it could also be, you know, a combination of money, status, game, and looks. It depends on the guy, right? Basically, the guy has to be in the top 5% of men to be chosen effectively, and they only look at the bottom 85% of men for relationships when they themselves are in dire straits, when they've used up all of their youth, when they're 30 plus, past the wall. That's when they then look at the bottom 95% of men. That's not an ideology. That's simply the truth. It's like saying the sky is blue. It's like saying the earth orbits around the sun. It's like saying, you know, we're 98.7% related to chimpanzees. Like, Hafeez, by saying a statement like this, clearly shows that he's ignorant, right? So I would ask Hafeez on the interview what books he's read, right? I would ask him, have you read, you know, The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins? Have you read The Manipulated Man by Esther Villar? Have you read, like, The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi? Have you read, like, I would just ask him what books has he read? And then I would ask him, have you read a basic biology textbook? Have you read a basic chemistry textbook, a basic physics textbook? And then I would ask him about the basic fundamental truths of our universe, right? Do you deny that the Earth orbits around the sun? Do you deny special relativity as told, or just general relativity as told by Einstein? Do you deny basic, you know, processes such as we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide? Do you deny gravity and evolution? Because if he denies stuff like this, right, like if he's just a hard believer, if he's just a ideologue and a demagogue, then what he has to say is useless. right? And the audience would see that immediately. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me further, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Okay, let's continue here with the interview, quote unquote.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of these ideologies put you in a box. So
it's hilarious that Hafeez would say that, considering that he himself is in the religion box, right? He's like a super religious guy. He just got married. He's been married for a year. He's in the honeymoon phase, which again he doesn't even know about or doesn't believe in, right? Because he just believes in whatever his religious text tells him to believe, which means he has no capacity for critical thought. So he's like Hassan Abi, but he's like Hassan for religion. So just another. He's not a womanist, but he's like a religious, what would you call it? Religious fanatic or a zealot? Like, people like this cannot be debated with, right? And he turns everything into an ideology, right? Like, because he sees the world in terms of extremes, in terms of ideologies. He's a very black and white thinker. He thinks that, okay, if I believe in an ideology, everyone must believe in an ideology. The red pill must be an ideology. It's not an ideology. It's not even a praxeology. It's just the truth.
I do subscribe to religion, and people can argue whether that's man-made or not. That's going to be a great conversation, great debate. You get a guy like Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson had a great debate about that. But in regards to man-made ideologies, I don't really subscribe to them as much, and I don't like to identify myself with something that somebody else has conjured up with their own personal opinion. And so I think in regard...
Right, I agree entirely, which is why, Hafeez, you're full of shit. Because Rollo Tomasi, right, the godfather of the red pill, he didn't come up with it just out of his own opinion. Like, that's a hilarious concept to think about, that you know, people would just believe somebody's opinion. I mean, they do. I mean, there are cults out there. There is you know, several cults even today. There's womanism, etc., right? And the you know, egalitarian equalism, the concept of you know, a million genders, etc. So yes, people can believe things that are just based on opinion and not based in biological fact, but the red pill happens to not be one of those things. So again, it's based on evolutionary psychology. So here's the idea, okay? We've had modern civilization for about 7,000 years, but Homo sapiens sapiens, which is what we are biologically, have been around for 200,000 years. So that means that evolution has been working on, I mean, obviously evolution has been working on us the whole time, but evolutionarily speaking, Homo sapiens sapiens have been hunter-gatherers for 195 or whatever, 193,000 years. And so all like, not all, but a lot of our biological hardwiring comes from that evolutionary past, right? So in that world, that's what determined, right, how men and women are inclined to behave. So men are polygamous and women are hypergamous. So men want, you know, as Rollo says, unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, right? They want basically to be polygamous, to have multiple girls at the same time, and to not be limited in how they can access them. And women are hypergamous. They want the absolute top man, and they want the top man to commit to them and be exclusive to them, and to have their children, and to have that man solely parentally invest in them, right? And then you get the competing strategies, right, where men and women are trying to get their, you know, their best, trying to achieve their strategy. So this is like the selfish gene. And then you get the intersexual competition, right? So if the woman maximally wins, then that's the friend zone, right? So if basically the guy is giving her boyfriend behaviors, he's effectively parentally investing in her without getting anything in return. And if the man wins maximally, then it's basically friends with benefits, right? So if a man has multiple friends with benefits, he's maximally winning his sexual strategy, right? And the compromise between men and women's sexual strategy is a monogamous relationship, right? So that would be where women have no orbiters. They have one man, and that man invests in her. So the man also doesn't have other women. This is a compromise between both men and women's sexual strategy, though it still favors women because women can get new relationships much easier than men. And that's because of the attention that women get compared to men. So again, none of this is like someone's opinion, right? It's not like, oh, one day I just thought that it might be like this and I put it in a book and believe it. Like, it's just utterly ridiculous. And how would that reflect our hunter-gatherer past? Well, 195,000 years ago, the world was not a safe place. You couldn't, like, you could get eaten by a bear, you could get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, etc., right? In such a world, you need protection, you need provisioning. And the strongest man is the one that you wanted protection and provisioning from. You didn't want just any man, right? And so the strongest man protected many, many women, right? That's the idea, right? That's the idea of polygamy. And the women accepted it, right? Even though it went against, well, it didn't go against this strategy because that man is the superior one. And women would rather share a successful winner than be with a faithful loser. And that reflects our biological evolutionary past. It's not, you know, it's not someone's opinion, right? It's like, it's just a ridiculous notion, right? So I would ask the guy, like, have you read anything about evolutionary biology? Do you know anything about human history, right? Like, and I would just ask him basic questions. Like, 200 years ago, what was the strongest empire in the world, right? Who is the leader of that empire? You know, etc. And if he knew about the British Empire, then I would, you know, we would talk about it. I would ask him questions like, have you heard of Louis XIV? I would ask him questions like, do you know who the Vikings were? Do you know what they did? Etc. Right? Because a man like this, who thinks that everything is just an opinion, right? And then I would ask him, like, do you think that these things are opinions? They're not opinions. They are facts. They're things that really happened. Like, the red pill is on that same level. It's on the same level as gravity. It's on the same level as, like, evolution. It's not some made-up ideology like your bullshit you're trying to spew to your audience so you can get fans and money, Hafeez.
To the red pill is a very interesting space, a lot of interesting characters there, and I think the biggest,
he won't say Rollo Tomasi,
challenge to me is the phrase that they use is that all we're doing is trying to share the truth about fill in the blank, right? And to me, it's very, very arrogant as a human being to say I myself am the orator of the truth.
No, it's not. That is not arrogant. Again, it's not arrogant to say that because that truth is not based on your opinion. It would be arrogant if you said, I am the only arbiter of the truth. Only I know the truth and no one else. Follow me. That would be like a cult. But that isn't what the red pill is. The red pill says, here are the facts. Here is our evolutionary biological past. Here is the behavior you can observe. Here is what that implies about the truth of the world. It's not saying, I know the truth. Listen to me, follow me, be my puppet, be my slave. That's not what the red pill is about. The red pill is simply, want to know why your relationship ended? Want to know why your girlfriend was acting like that? Want to know why you can't get laid? Want to know why the girls are choosing the guys they're choosing on Tinder? Want to know why the divorce rate is 6% out of 6 out of 1,000? Want to know why? Here is why. And all of the things that I listed, and there's much more, right? Obviously, there's more than just solipsism and hypergamy, and you can't negotiate genuine desire. There's also, I already talked about it, right? Like the selfish gene, people are just trying to survive and reproduce and maximize their genetic potential, etc., right? So that, anyway, let's continue.
I know the truth. My studies are the accurate studies. My ideas are the accurate ideas.
But here's the thing, again, Rollo and people like him, right? But especially Rollo Tomasi. They're not his studies. They're not. They're the studies of, you know, multiple evolutionary psychologists who are at the top of their field over several decades. They're the studies of, you know, evolutionary psychology, evolutionary biology over multiple decades. And also the observations of hard data from multiple sources, such as, you know, dating applications and Instagram and etc. Right? And then also anecdotal evidence as well, right? Taken by Rollo himself, but also by many, many men who are sharing their experiences on several forums, which, I mean, now they're not forums anymore except for Reddit, on Reddit as well, and in YouTube chats, you know, like the comment sections and etc. It's all of this all together. It's not Rollo's studies. No, it's the people putting together the dots that are heavily implied, right? The truth of the world is heavily supported by all of this data coming together, right? You can't look at the dating app statistics and see that women see 80% of men as below average and think that the red pill is a ideology. Like, women see 80% of men as unattractive because 80% of men are below the top tier. And women are hypergamous. They only want men in the top tier. Even if they can't get a man there, they would rather die alone with cats and boxed wine than submit to a man who's below the top tier. Like, women would rather sleep with a top tier guy for 20 minutes on a Wednesday once a month than be with a loser in 2022. That's not a belief. That's the truth. And if you don't believe it, go on one of these dating applications and try it yourself and be a loser. Be a normal guy, an average guy in 2022. Like, it's just utterly ridiculous what Hafeez is saying.
I am the only individual who knows these things. And so to me,
bullshit.
That ideology seems very
It's not an ideology.
In my opinion.
No, it's not a cult. As I said, it would be a cult if the person said, I am the only arbiter of the truth. The things that I say are only true and nothing else is true. And don't listen to what anyone else says, listen to me. But that isn't what the red pill says. It says, everyone believes that the sun orbits around the earth, but actually the earth orbits around the sun. Here's the data. And you don't have to believe me. Look at the data. Look at the facts, data, and statistics. It's not a belief. It's not a cult. It's not an ideology like the crap that you're spewing. Hafeez.
If you believe in them, they give you praise words like, oh, yo, you're red-pilled. You're an alpha male, right? And if you disagree with them, they give you the curse words, right? You are blue-pilled. You are a beta male, right?
Okay, I mean, while this may be true on the, you know, on the red pill subreddit, etc., still doesn't make it a cult. Like, again, it's men telling, it's basically men shaming other men into greatness, right? Like, which happens in literally all male endeavors that are worth a damn, right? It's not like it's not like you can go on the, you know, let's say the football field and have your friends not give you shit if you you know, do something terrible, or if you're stupid, if you wreck the game for everybody, or on the on the football pitch, or on the basketball court, or whatever, you know, at a boardroom meeting. Like, it's exactly the same principle. Like, is it a cult to be in a business, right? Working for a corporation, and they give you shit when you don't follow when you're not towing the company line? It's the same thing, right? The red pill's company line is, listen to the truth, idiot, or you'll get screwed, idiot. That's what you're doing when you're calling somebody blue pill. It's not praising them for following the cult. In fact, I would say womanism is actually the cult, right? The cult of worshipping women, even though it destroys society and the women and the men. That is a cult, right? The cult of feels before reals, of feelings are more important than facts, data, and statistics, and we should follow our feelings. And it's arrogant to say that you know the truth when the whole crowd believes something different. Like that is a religion. It's like saying, Socrates, you're poisoning the youth. You're poisoning the youth. Drink your poison. You're corrupting the youth. Copernicus, the Earth doesn't orbit around the sun. You're an infidel. You're against religion. You should be thrown in jail. That's what Hafeez is saying, basically. He's saying you don't follow the modern cultural trends. You're in a cult. Like, no, that's what's it called? It's a logical fallacy to say this kind of thing.
Are you talking about like the comments section?
I'm just talking about the idea of the philosophy, right?
Okay.
It's not a philosophy. It's not an ideology. It's just the truth. It's like saying the Earth orbits around the sun. It's like saying there's gravity. There's an attractive force between masses in the universe, right? Like that's what the red pill is. It's not there's an all-powerful being that you can't see, can't touch, can't observe, can't feel, who's controlling all of your actions. And you have to listen to that guy and submit to that guy. Like that's not what the red pill is. The red pill is there's an observable reality, there's a replicable, observable, empirical reality, and you can, through your actions, affect change in this reality by understanding the truth of that reality. Look, here is how. That's not a cult. That's just science. I don't understand how this is so hard for somebody to understand. It's so clear to me that Hafeez does not have an education, right? He seems uneducated to me. But just in case I'm wrong, I'm going to look up, where did Hafeez go to university? I'm looking it up right now. And what did he study? I'm sure it'll say. Hafeez, no, what's this guy's name? One sec. Hafeez Baoku. If he's just one of these self-made men with no... Okay. He attended Wingate University on a football scholarship. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to read what he studied in university, because apparently... Actor, director, and writer note. I think this might be the wrong Hafeez. Okay. 1 sec. Okay. I'm just trying to see if he has a Wikipedia page. Spent 1 season at Wingate University in Wingate, North Carolina. Played in 11 games. Founder of Urban Gospel Mission. Author of Sex, God, and the Single Life. Okay. So, basically, he's uneducated. And because he's uneducated, he can't make an informed... He can't make an informed decision on this topic. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't understand science. So, what I would ask him, do you know what the fundamental tenets of genetics are? DNA, RNA, protein. He doesn't know that, I'll bet you. I'll bet he doesn't know, he doesn't even know how evolution works. He'll think that evolution works on individuals, not on populations, etc. The guy, don't listen to this guy, guys. He has no... he doesn't believe in science. I don't know what to tell you. Science is not a belief. Science is not an ideology.
People who subscribe to their worldview are red pill individuals, right? Their minds have been opened up to the truth, right? And the people who disagree with their ideas are considered blue pill, right? You have rejected the truth, i.e. the Matrix, right? The guy in the Matrix. He said, I want to go back in the machine, even though I...
This guy doesn't even understand that the Matrix is an analogy, and here's what it's an analogy for. It's an analogy for this, and you guys have experienced it, and I know you've experienced it. The analogy is the following. like, there's a reality behind your reality that you've never been told, right? Like, every girl you ever met, your mom, your grandma, your sister, your cousin, your teacher, your professor, they've all lied to you about the truth of female nature, and they've lied because it actually furthers their biological strategy over yours. That's the truth, right? That's not a belief. That's just the truth. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you don't believe it, look at how relationships work. Look at how online dating works. Look at how like, there's no marriage nowadays. Look at women 30 plus complaining about where are the good men. Like, just look at all the things that like the ills of our modern society, and you'll see it's right there staring you in the face. It's been hidden the whole time, but it's there. You can't deny the truth by saying it's an ideology. Like, he should be called HaFEELZ, this guy.
I know it. I want to go back in the machine. So to me, that seems very cult-like in regards to the ideology. And so
False.
There's a lot of different reasons why I don't subscribe to it. But those are
the crap you're saying is cult-like. Anyway, we can make like 100 segments off of this, guys. Like, we might just do that. Okay, we're going to end the video there. Again, if you're new to the channel, liking the content, hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video, especially if you made it to the end. You guys are wonderful, and I will see you next time.